It's time for JUCO Jam, presented to you by Dream Big Athletics, hosted by Tad Slowick, an exciting new podcast bringing you all the great action from JUCO baseball. Here you'll find weekly updates from around the country, highlighting the teams, players, and coaches who impact the game at the junior college level. Everything you want to learn about JUCO baseball can be found here and on our website at dreambigathletics.com. There you'll find our weekly team rankings, the top player rankings headed into the spring, and all the news of what is happening in the game at the junior college level. On this show, you will have many guests, coaches, players who will give us insight on the day-to-day, behind-the-scenes working of junior college baseball. And now our host, Tad Slowick.
Welcome, baseball fans, to another episode of the JUCO Jam Baseball Podcast, brought to you by Dream Big Athletics. I'm your host, Tad Slowick, good old friend Lou Temple. Lou, how are you doing today?
Ooh-wee. Tad Slowick, fishing is fine. Here we are, wrapping up. This has been a good run for us. Just the fact that national champions crowned. I'll let you talk about that here in a second. I want to give you credit for having been out on the road and seen so many of these guys all year, letting us know that you and I have done this every week is consistent. And I'm proud of the fact we showed up every week, and that says something. So the JUCO Jam jammed entirely this year, and we'll just improve. So what do you have to say about the year in junior college 2023?
Well, first of all, I guess it's like life, it's passing us by quick sometimes. And, the season already is done. I can't believe it. Another great year at JUCO baseball. I mean, started last fall with all the showcases and events, where I got a great opportunity to see thousands of players and, get there, see who were the better teams coming into the spring and who were the better players coming into the spring. So it was a great time. The fall's a great time, and I look forward to that this fall to evaluate all the players, the teams, and just get a good feel for everybody on, who to watch in JUCO baseball and who to keep an eye on in the spring. And, as we've seen in the spring too, is things don't always work out the way we think they're going to work out. Sometimes they do, but other times, the game's decided between the white lines by the players and the coaches. And, it was just another exciting year. I mean, kudos to all the coaches, whether your team won it or not. I mean, they do a great job in developing their players and, putting a great product down the field here for junior college baseball. And that's what I get a kick out of. I love doing this.
Yeah, I think that the coaches, the programs, the athletic directors, the recruiting supervisors are all upping their ante. It's upping the game. So you don't get to just show up in March and play baseball. You have to really be tuned up and get a great start. The schedules are incredible, and the season goes quick. Like you say, we had some real surprises that happened, which I think is always exactly what baseball is. We had some absolutes, which you saw in the fall. You keyed us into who to keep an eye on. And then even you had some surprises. Some players came out of their shoes, some incredible seasons.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part is the freshmen. The returning kids most of the time, but the freshman is what really lights you up. Some of the performances, like Brady Serkonic from Connor State, having 107 RBIs with 27 home runs. I mean, that's a great freshman season. Ryan Rodriguez from Weatherford, another great freshman performance. Jake Bennett from San Jack, just performance after performance. And then the veterans getting it done too. Robin Villeneuve from Weatherford, led the nation in home runs, had 102 RBIs. Nicholas Williams had 102 RBIs. I mean, those guys are really putting up some serious numbers, considering they're only 55 plus games in a season. Those are just incredible numbers. And and then he had great performances like the Brian Holidays. He had the dynamic duo of Matt Wilkinson and Patrick Stites over at Central Arizona. Colton Brumley. I mean, the guys after guys of just, people getting it done. And, it's just great performances on the field. Ben Higdon from Logan, just some great individual performances. And then that led to some, great team performances too. And then some of the teams that, didn't get to the World Series this year, who are better known for getting to World Series, like, Central Arizona, Walter State, Flodar Tech, Flodar Tech now had an outstanding season, but now they're going to have that big rivalry with Gastown now. Gastown came from the
Yeah.
Division II level and upgraded their program to a Division I program, and they went to the World Series in the first year of that. So I mean, that's going to be a great matchup down there, and in Southeast over there. So.
Well, let's just talk about the team that won it all, Division I, and you had them on top all year, Tad. I mean, I think you're not entirely surprised about Central Florida.
No, and they were built to win. You could see them in the fall. I mean, hell, they looked like a pro team, walking out there in the uniform. A big, strong, athletic team, guy with a bunch of great arms, a bunch of great players, guys who really got it done between the white lines. Talk about living up to your hype. They had a great season the year before, went to the World Series the year before, and they just, capitalized on what they had. They took all that experience and all that know-how, and they really just got it done this year. It wasn't an easy road. It never is. JUCO baseball is really tough to get to that national championship, and they had no easy year. I mean, Wabash Valley, under first-year head coach Aaron Biddle, got those guys really playing well, especially at the end of the year. I mean, they were on top of things there in Grand Junction for a while, and it just took every bit that Central Florida had to overcome them. Weatherford, made their mark mid-season, I thought, against McLennan, and then, from there on, I mean, they were just lights out, and just played great baseball. Blinn taking care of San Jack and those
Yeah.
tough teams down there in Region 14. I mean, great seasons by all these teams.
Yeah, I really think that the Florida junior college baseball, Texas junior college baseball, Arizona junior college baseball, really easy to focus on. But then all these other great programs that are mixed in just give it so much diversity and a great unknown. I mean, again, we saw teams take other teams out that maybe we didn't predict, but you did. You had Central Florida on top doing it, and they did.
Right, and they did, and it was a great year for them, and kudos. That's their first baseball national championship. So
That's incredible.
congratulations to Marty Smith. We had him on one of our podcasts during
Yeah.
the year, and congratulations to him. A guy who's really been in this game, a JUCO game, a long time, and really deserved it. And he's paid his dues and really put together a great squad and got the job done. So
Yeah.
congratulations to them. So
Congratulations, Coach Smith and Central Florida. Bouncing over to Division II, what are some of your thoughts as the season wrapped up?
well, again, got a great chance to see a lot of these guys in the fall, and Heartland came back with a lot of their players. Their core coming back with Atkinson, Hartle, and Sam Antonacci. They decided they were on a mission for to get a chance to get to the World Series again and win it, and that was their goal during the year. But again, you got to play the season, you got to get it done between the white lines, and Sam Antonacci, just got it done. I mean, he was our number one player
Right.
on our top 10 players in JUCO baseball. Hit over 500 with 103 RBIs, and just was a
Amazing.
monster the
Yeah.
whole year. Plays defense, does all the good things. You know, uh, some other fine performances during the year. You got Schwalbach, Mason Schwalbach over at McHenry County had a big year at the plate, along with Miguel Cantu over at Morton. And, Garrett Gruel led the nation in homers from Murray State with 27.
Wow.
Had some great pitching performances by Langford over at Murray State, with 128 strikeouts this year. Cooper Cooksey over at, Pearl River, great earned run average, led the nation in earned run average. And, just a lot of good things going on. And, just a great individual efforts by a lot of these guys, and just fine performances. As we had Casey Pernod also from Southeastern. We went to the World Series this year. They don't go to the World Series without him. Led the nation in wins and with 12, and so just a lot of fine performances. That many other players had great years, and it's just a great thing to see all these kids perform and get it done. And we had a real treat to start out the year too with LSU Eunice running off 39 straight games
It's
before South
amazing.
Arkansas put them.
We did. I mean, Eunice was on top of our list all year for the most part. They don't make it to the World Series. That's incredible.
Yeah, and Pearl River either. I thought it would be one of those two, but East Central got hot at the end of the year playing good baseball and took care of both of them. Another team who had a great year who we had up at top all year and didn't quite get it. They got beat out by Southeastern, but Iowa Central had a great year. I mean, they won a lot of ball games, played a lot of good baseball, and just had a great year, but came up a little short too when it came out at the end of the year. But kudos to all those teams for having great years. But our national champion, you know,
Yeah, well, that's a team that you had number two for most of the year, and easily without a team like Eunice would have been number one practically. And but they come out on top. Heartland, congratulations.
yeah, Heartland Hawks, Coach Chris Razzo and all those players over there who came back for that is to win the national championship, and they got it done. And it wasn't easy, to come out and go through a whole season with a lot of tough teams and tough opponents, and then end up getting through the Enid bracket there in Oklahoma for the World Series championship. And a credit to the Southeastern Iowa, for their great run, knocking off Iowa Central to get to, and Kirkwood, another perennial power to get to the World Series this year, and they made it to the championship game against Heartland. And then St. John's River, who first year at Division II level went to the World Series and made a good run. And then Lansing had another great year, their second year in a row. They've been to Enid and had another great performance. Hunter Lay, one of the top players in Division II junior college baseball. No question about that. So.
Yeah, I think the Division Two bracket was particularly interesting with really good teams like Lansing, like St. John's River, were really competitive and gave everyone a run for their money. And I don't think that Heartland gets enough credit for doing what they did because, like you said, they bet on themselves. They had returning players, and they were focused and driven. Again, you had Chris Razzo as one of your guests as a good interview on your show, and he was very focused, and that's exactly what it takes. So really a great Division II year.
Right, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of exciting baseball, and they just do a great job, at Heartland and all these programs, Parkland, all the top programs in the country. LSU Eunice will be back, and even probably more determined, as well as Pearl River and all those other great teams that we see year in and year out who just run those great programs. So it's good stuff. Good stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then on to Division Three, where that season feels like it's so quick. I mean, I know
Yeah.
several of those teams play all year in the same time frame, but because it has a real Northeast qualification, it just feels like it's a short season. It's not, but it feels like that.
Yeah, I mean, Northeast would say they rule in Division III baseball, JUCO baseball, and they wouldn't be wrong either. I mean, look at the teams up there. Northern Essex, Niagara County, Gloucester. Just all these good clubs that, like you say, have to play kind of a condensed season sometimes, and it just the rainouts, the weather, fighting all those battles, and maybe that's what toughens these guys up to get to the national championship. We saw a lot of great performances, and why wouldn't Gloucester win the national title with Rocco Bresniak, having 106 RBIs, Aaron Graebner 102. They had the top 3 out of 4 guys in JUCO Division III baseball and runs batted in. I mean,
Yeah.
they were like a machine. Guys hitting over 500. Like Grabner hit over 500 and stuff, and just they had the pitching too with Hartman there too, and they just had all the weapons. When it came down to it, and they were playing on top of their game come the end of the year. So I mean, they just had a great club, and give all the credit to Coach Rob Valley. That's their 8th national championship, and for Gloucester, and they just are going to be up there again next year, I'm sure too. So the Division III championship goes to them. You had a lot of other teams too who had great seasons. Caldwell Tech, we had on top, a lot of times during the year, and Owens also out of Ohio. I mean, those teams had great years, and then just think of the competition that Gloucester had to face come, World Series time down there in Greenville, Tennessee. Eastfield again, Harvest Bees, runner up. I mean, they got a great ball club too, and
Right.
Gloucester took care of them. So that's the second year in a row they've finished second. Northern Essex had a great run there at the end of the year. They're usually a team that goes to the World Series, and then Herkimer, who was last year's national championships, made another good run this year, but just came up a little bit short. And like you said earlier, you could count on the Northeast here in the Division III level, and they're probably thinking another champion's going to come out of there again this next year. So
Yeah, they definitely didn't disappoint, and we've talked again about them being firing on all cylinders at the right time of the year when they get into World Series tournament play. They seem to rise to the occasion. Great seasons, as you mentioned, for the guys in their lineups and the pitchers that racked up some wins for them. Division III is, I think, really exciting, as is 1 and 2, and so we've had a chance to really touch and be touched by a little bit or a lot of all of them. What are some things going forward that you're feeling, you want to address, you want to improve on,
well,
you want?
yeah, definitely, definitely. I like the fact that you and I got a chance to talk about these guys on a weekly basis. We were consistent there. Like I said, the coaches do a great job. You guys have a great product, and we got to keep getting that out there more because you guys do a great job. You recruit good players. That we've seen some great performances that we've talked about already, and we got to just highlight that a little bit more. I mean, next year we're going to do that a little bit more, try to get a little bit more coverage nationally, and trying to dip into the Division III level a little bit stronger, as well as the Division II and Division I, and just get more talk about some of these individual players that we have and some of these great programs that maybe are on the periphery too, that are on the rise coming up too. So we definitely want to get more coverage out next year, and we're gonna put our best foot forward doing that, and just improve on everything we've done. You know what I mean? And I've enjoyed the 2-year run I've had being involved in junior college baseball. This was the first year on our own, and I think we got a lot to improve on, but like I said, we got a good product to work with, and I'm looking forward to, meeting and talking to more coaches about their teams, and just getting the word out a lot better about junior college baseball this next year. We're going to have another episode where we're going to talk about the Major League Draft and the players that we think can get drafted before the summer's out. But, it was a great year, and like I said, we got a lot to work with, and we got a lot to get better on. So we're going to
Yeah,
definitely get better here.
I would agree. I think that what we did well was we were consistent. We showed up. We tried to present what we felt was important to our audience. I think we can improve technologically. We can, build a better, continue to improve our presentation. That's the truth.
Absolutely, right.
I'd like to be able to put some more bells and whistles on our
Right.
highlights. Maybe get some more video.
Hey, we went from just talking about it over some blank screen to actually getting on tape here and getting some highlights on there. So,
Yeah,
we came a long way, but there's still, like you said, the bells and whistles, and really make it more entertaining for our audience because, like I said, we got a great product.
yeah, and I feel like what we're trying to do is be ambassadors for the junior college product to help not just the programs and the coaches, but also players that are considering or are weighing out a decision for options. I think you're a great conduit to know where you fit, what program, if you're a young player, you fit in, and as a parent, that's reassuring. I think as a coach or a recruiter, you're a good source of information to know, hey, this is a player that's real serviceable for your program. So I like the idea that you can be of service to both the coaches and the players in continuing to grow the junior college product. And I think that's a great motive for you at Dream Big Athletics. We'd like to hear a little bit more than we have from our audience, whether that be coaches,
Right.
players, or parents, about what we can do to improve. That's the
Right.
truth. And so hitting up Dream Big Athletics and throwing some comments or, we really haven't requested you to like or subscribe, but we'll look into that maybe so that we can.
Yeah, and that is going into what you're saying there is, we're building a whole bigger platform next year. It's going to be newer, exciting. There's going to be some different things that the fans get to see about, that the coaches get to help them in their recruiting of these players, and help some of the junior college coaches in their recruiting of players, out of the high school ranks. So, just trying to promote the game in general, and we're going to build a bigger and better platform. So it's always a pleasure to have you on here, Lou. You've spent a lot of time in baseball, professional baseball, and, we make a pretty good team. So we're going to continue to do this and have our fun on the JUCO Jam Baseball Podcast. So
Well, we
with
did
that,
pretty good. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I've always enjoyed it. And that's why I keep showing up every week, and we'll continue to do so. And you continue to do what you do, and find us on Dream Big Athletics.
yeah, build a bigger and better product. That's what we're going to do. So this is Tad Slowick signing off for this episode of JUCO Jam, and we'll see you on the next time. Talk to you later. See you later, Lou.
You've been listening to JUCO Jam. For all your junior college needs, go to dreambigathletics.com and make sure to tune in to next week's episode of JUCO Jam.